Today's the day. Today's the day we're gonna participate in a Twitter trend, which I never do, ever. 1, because I'm slow. 2, because I'm bad. And 3, because I'm insecure, because I'm slow, and because I'm bad. We're gonna draw the new Kiara model. And, you know, it's already been out for a day at the time of this recording. And you know what? You'd never guess. Guess what? There's already a million fan arts that's automatically better than mine. So you just scrub through these and, you know, look at how fast these artists are. A pixel art animation? Are you joking? Twitter is so scary. How am I supposed to compete with this? Yeah, everything looks so good. Everything looks amazing. And, you know, I don't even color yet. So maybe today's the day we try color? Probably not. I'll probably stick to black and white. You know what? Here's the thing. Can't view it as, you know, trying to compete with the internet. You gotta view it as doing it because you like it, because you want to, and because you want to learn as an artist. So, you know what? If this gets 1 like, 0 likes on Twitter, but if I learn something from it and I don't hate the end result, then that's a win. And that's the mindset we're gonna try to keep up here instead of, you know, hating yourself, scrolling through all of these and thinking that you're like not even as close to as good as they are. Okay, so let's get our reference. This is about as close of an official reference as we can get. You know, this is why figure drawing is so important, because unless I'm just gonna copy from, you know, these 2 references, I'm gonna have to create some dynamic pose on my own that I know based off of either another reference or, you know, my knowledge of anatomy and proportions and all of that. Well, guess what? I don't know those. So the realistic goal is to do around 90% of this pose here. That's gonna be like pretty much all of it. But then we're gonna take this expression here, we're gonna take this little wink, and we're gonna apply it on this pose. And then if we're feeling really spicy, maybe add a little like head tilt for this going this way. So she does the little anime like, just like that. Okay, here we go. Remember, again, it's supposed to be equal from realistic proportions anyway. From brow to nose to chin to hairline, which is like right around here. So again, just like the other video, the distance from the eye to the bottom of the nose definitely seems longer than the nose to chin and eyebrow to hairline. Also worth noting, something that I've learned about myself is that I tend to have very thick, bigger lines. Yes, my line quality is generally trash, but I look at things like this and look at how thin these lines are. So thin, so thin. That's like 1 pixel. We are as small can go. There's, because like lines don't exist in real life. And even though this is line art and digital, the lines are so small. So small. Look at this. So teeny tiny. Which is an aside, if I was actually trying to do like that type of style and actually have the line weight be that small, the canvas has to be huge. Like you're at least 4K. This is only a 2K by 2K canvas because this is more of like a study than it is an actual like illustration. But if you're wanting to go for this sort of style, if you want your lines to look that crisp, not only do you have to use a small pen size, but you also have to have a big enough canvas to support that kind of resolution you can then downscale when you export. Her eyebrows are really small, actually. Like really simple and thin. I know that the ears are supposed to line up with the eyebrows, obviously, but I always feel like that I end up fudging it towards the end almost every time. And this nose is just a dot. It's literally just a single dot, and then they play with the highlight here to show some form, but it's just 1 dot, 1 nostril, that's it. Their iris is huge. Absolutely massive. It doesn't drop below this outer edge of the eye. This wraps down, so it's only this inner part that's not seen. So this can come in a whole lot more. And then this blink follows the curve of the face, so it's not like this, it's not like happy, it's like down. How many lashes do you see in here? You see a couple. Okay. And it would make sense that the blink is at the bottom of the eye here, which means that this blink has to line up on this plane horizontally going down to the face. That means the blink has to be somewhere around like here. And then if you want to have lashes, it'd be something like that. Okay, so this is where we're at. It looks awful, and I'm a firm believer that hair doesn't save you. So if I can't get the face to read like the reference, and if I can't get the emotion to read at this stage, then what's the point in going further? So let's see what we can tweak to make this look a little bit cuter, more feminine, more actually like the reference. I think this needs to be more gentle, more curved. So we can try this. I feel like the eyelid itself might be too low. I think it's giving off, you know, this kind of energy. If we increase the arc of the eye, if we can make it look a little bit happier. If I delete just this eye, I feel like that this is automatically a happier face. Like if I just take the eye, the open eye out completely, I feel like it already looks happier. Also, I think that this amount of space right here, I think is an issue. Because if you look in here, yeah, like there's no, it doesn't hang off the eye really weird. This doesn't seem natural. This seems like it's breaking gravity somehow. Something I'm looking at now is if I just look at this part of the eye, if I just look at the wide of the eye, what is this shape? Or if I draw the outline in red here, right? What is just this shape? And then what do I show around that? Like if you're gonna draw like Batman eyes, right? Like what would the Batman eye or like the Spider-Man eye version of this be? So if I can just get that core like Batman eye shape, I feel like I'll be in a better place. So if I just trace this eye here without any of the glitz and the glamour, if I just draw this here, that's what the eye looks like in a sketch phase. At a fundamental level, that's what I need to train my eye to see. That's crazy. Wow, okay, already just that like meme-y, quick little doodle, that already looks way happier, way cuter than whatever else I was trying to do a second ago. This is a non-trivial amount of space. If I duplicate this here, this is about the same height as the eye itself, give or take. So the eyebrow is about one eye's height above the eye, at least in this reference. I wonder if I can make this flirtier by lowering the lid angle a bit. I know I tried to raise it up earlier and made it more circular, but I wonder if this will look a little bit more like alluring if I lower this eye a bit. Oh, it does. Instantly more sexy. Automatically more flirtatious by lowering that eyelid. Perfect. All right, now we're getting into the body. This is slowly growing in scale because we're not just doing the face. So, oh man, this is starting to get really scary. Okay, well that was like a 20-minute time lapse. I just kind of blacked out. I didn't say anything. I was just like trying to figure it out. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, the biggest thing that I got right now is that I only want to have one hand because I want to try to have some semblance of originality here. So I'm trying to go for like the cute, like, so I need to find a reference of like pointing to somebody with the same hand that you're tilted in. All right, I got my reference. Apparently this was like running around in my subconscious because this is pretty much exactly what I was envisioning. I just didn't know it. This is, maybe you've seen it. I'll throw the GIF up on the screen. This came out around the same time Boruto launched and I loved it. All right, so now it's time for a line pass. There is smoothing up here that I can try to mess with to try to make my lines look a little bit better. I'm not very good at line quality, I don't think, so this is probably gonna be rough. So all of this was just noodling, trying to look at this and, you know, do my horizontal lines to see and compare and contrast where things lined up. With the biggest one being that I want the head to the second instance of the head. So if this is one head, the second head is down here at the nipple line. And then proportionally, the hand is supposed to be able to cover the face. See, supposed to do that. So as long as those two things checked out, and then I made sure that this shoulder was higher than this shoulder to like push this one down to really sell the angle. See how this one is higher than this one over here? That's kind of all I was looking for. Okay, I hate this. I hate this. Am I doing something wrong? This looks so bad. I don't even want to continue. Why would I even, like, I feel that there's no soul to this. There's like, I feel like it looks so dry. Any personality that or any style that I feel like was in this sketch, I feel is totally gone. So instead, I'm just gonna clean it up as I normally do, which gives me my rough, more blocky, thick lines. And that's just erase out of them. So if this is too thick, I'll just go to this layer and I'll just erase out of it like this. And I'll just erase out of it like this. That's how I've been doing it. I think it looks better that way. I mean, at least better than whatever technique I was using before. So if I was doing it wrong, then you know what? In another video, let's learn how to do a line pass to make it look like it actually has some soul to it, because that was absolutely atrocious and I hated it. So we're gonna do it this. We're gonna clean it up a different way. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, hi, it's me again. After more time lapse. All in all though, I don't hate it. I really don't. I thought I would hate it more than I do. So that's a plus. Let's once more into the breach. Okay, what the heck is this? This is garbage. This is something I would like do in 3D. This is like all the detail work that the photo bashing concept artist in me is like dying. Oh my gosh. I'm not prepared for this. I'm not ready for this. Send help. Okay. Oh my gosh. This, you know, it's a labor of love, right? I feel like, though, it's not fair for me to complain about, you know, cleaning things up and polishing things, because I've done that maybe like 3 times in my entire art career. Like, I've only done drills and sketching, so of course I don't have a lot of experience polishing, cleaning things up, or even know tips and tricks to save myself time. So yeah, I've complained a lot about how long this took, but that looks nice. So I'll just get used to it and stop complaining. So now it's color time. Yeah, my first reaction is just a color pick, but since it's a different style than the original, I don't want to just color pick, so I'm probably going to color pick and then desaturate them, and then pay a lot of extra attention to line weight at the end along the outside of them, kind of like a pixel art thing, to where the outside lines will be the heaviest. So let's give that a go. So we've hit a tipping point. At this point, basically, I have these black lines I don't know what to do with. And if I don't want to have any lines in my piece, I have to get rid of them. So how do I get rid of them? Well, if I just select the line layer that's here, I can color over them with whatever color I want because it's a clipping mask. So I can make all lines, you know, blue if I wanted to, right? And now they're all blue. And that's not the worst thing in the world, but I think I'm just gonna stick with selecting them and then painting over them whatever color's underneath, and then just kind of going from there. Because I think having no lines would be kind of cool. So honestly, at this point right now, I'm pretty upset because I feel lost and I don't like how it's turning out. And, you know, at this point, it's just a matter of spite. It's like, yeah, I feel like this is taking way too long. But you know what? This is my fault. So even if it takes a million years, I'm going to polish this until I bleed. Until I'm not mortified of it and hate it. Because I worked too hard for too long to come this far. Even if I feel like I'm repeating steps I did before, and it's super inefficient and it's stupid, which it is, I am going to make this look better, darn it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And you're gonna watch me do it times 1,000 speed. Literally the speed is times 1,000 to 3,000. It's ridiculous. Look at me having to literally redo these lines because changing the line itself didn't do enough. This has just been a lot of redoing lines. All I seem to be doing for the past, however long this has been. I think it's been 3 hours? 4 hours now? All right, it's done. I did it. Holy crap. I struggled so hard. So hard. I feel like I redid my lines at least 3 times. I feel like I backtracked and repeated myself needlessly. And it's just a good, I'm proud of myself. I'm glad that I put myself out there. I'm glad that I went outside my comfort zone and tried this and didn't just leave it as the sketch. But you know what, next time I'm not gonna do one of these for a while. Okay, it's me from the future. This is a couple days after the recording, and I posted it to Twitter, and comparatively I got way more likes and engagement than the first one. Probably because it's colored, probably because it's more relevant, it used a hashtag. So honestly, for only having 22 followers, this is kind of ridiculous. That percentage of engagement and retweets is bananas. Looking at them side by side though, I'm not sure which one I like more. I think that this one has less of a soul. I feel like that this one has almost more personality or style to it. But beyond that, the reason I recorded this again so late after finishing making it is that I really struggled, as I'm sure you saw, the lines. The lines absolutely destroyed me. I really like how the hair turned out with this more painterly lack of lines kind of style. But then once I get into places like here with the chin where I have to distinguish between the chin and the neck, or here at the hand where I have to distinguish between the fingers and the thumb and everything else, I didn't know what to do with it, and I got really stuck. So the past couple days after I posted this, I went and I looked on Twitter to try to see how other artists handled their lines. And so here's an example, right? Very clear lines, definite, black, thick, unapologetic lines. And they're intentionally controlling their line weight, because if you look at the hair here, this is less thick, less dark, but then if you look at the contour of like the arm and the legs here, very, very thick. So, okay, fine, kind of cartoony. But then now you go over here into Pixiv territory, and they still have lines, but they're very, very small, and they're still black, but they kind of have tonal shifts depending on where they are. So like the legs here, these are now red, and then the black comes out here again. And the hair, they could have made it a darker green, but they kept it black. So I don't know why they chose to make the shadow skin the darker red. Again, stylistic choice, it looks good, I'm not bashing it. I'm just trying to understand different artists' interpretations of how they handle lines at the end of the day. Like, I like this a lot. This is kind of my knee-jerk reaction go-to. Like, I kind of want to emulate this. This seems more like polished and nice and like professional. You know, they have gradients in their hair here. It's all pretty soft. It's all desaturated, which I like. But their lines are still pretty much all unapologetically black and still there. But then you get to more painterly render styles, and I find myself now seeing my confusion. I was unknowingly, subconsciously kind of leaning towards a painterly render style with lines, because this is where I started to get confused. On this Kali rendering here, this line of her face is lost. It's not as clearly identified as, you know, her arm, for example, here. Or in Kiara, her neck is very clearly, like, there's a clear line here, gets kind of lost. There's a clear line here, contour with her arm, but then it gets lost in here, and it starts to get more realistic. And I didn't know it at the time when I was actually struggling through this, but for me, little old me, I was taking a very stylized, like, cartoony approach that I thought would be much more in line with this type of rendering, and then maybe this in my dreams, but yet got stuck rendering it like these. So that's why I have like all these lines that are different colors, trying to match it to whatever tone it was contouring around. So like this is a darker color than the skin, and I got all twisted around because I thought I was making it look more painterly than I was even aware that I was doing. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let's keep learning together. Let's keep struggling together. And one day we're going to make really good anime girls, and it'll be a good day. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.